Okay, my dear students, welcome again. So before to give us your definition about inclusion or in education inclusive too, so I got a video that show us how is the process or how is the definition too about inclusion in educations. So it lasts 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And then please be ready to discuss your own definition too.
Everyone is different. The 2020 Global Everyone is different. The 2020 Global Education Monitoring Report on Inclusion and Education believes that education is strongest when it embraces diversity. Learners should not have to adapt to the system. Instead, education systems should adapt to their needs. When students do not feel welcome in school, they are less likely to learn. This is everyone's loss. But rich and poor countries too often educate some children apart. Children who have a disability, have been displaced, speak a different language, or are poor and disadvantaged. School design may favor some students over others, as do many laws and policies. Teachers are often ill-equipped to cater for students' diverse needs. Children may not recognize the way they are portrayed in textbooks. Some may not see themselves there at all. They receive the message that they do not belong. Testing sometimes follows a narrow vision of education, and consequently, some students leave education earlier than they should. These are complex problems to solve, but a belief in the right to education is a belief in inclusion. Children have different learning speeds and needs. They need curricula that are flexible, creative, and relevant. How we prepare teachers matters. They must be given the tools and training to achieve our vision for reform. The resources we know can help the marginalized, educators, support staff, and equipment should be shared so that everyone can benefit. Better data on those left behind will help us reach them. Disadvantages often accumulate. We can't address inclusion one group at a time. Redressing these disadvantages requires funds. These must be equitable and target individual-specific needs. We must work together on these tasks across government ministries, from central to local authorities, with civil society supporting governments, and schools opening doors to the community. Inclusion in education requires a change in mindset in society, so that education for all means education for everyone, without exception. Achieving this is everybody's business, including yours.
Okay. In this point, our inclusive education is not only about to educate others. It's about to have an inclusive classroom too. For example, an inclusive classroom is a general education classroom where students with and without learning difference together. Talking about inclusion, not is talking about, okay, the way you are going to include your students to be motivated at the same time, to participate at the same time, to learning at the same time. It's about classroom management too. So there are two kinds, or there are, okay, my God. Regálenme 15 segundos. Okay, I'm so sorry about virtual classes. So, inclusive classroom are welcoming and support the diverse academy, social. Observe la inclusión. Focus on academic, social, emotional, and communication needs of all students. O sea, la educación, en este caso, una educación inclusiva no es solo hablar de, ok, esa es la forma que él va a aprender. It's all about academic, also social, also emotional, also to communicate with others. Okay, let's move on. Oops, this is, okay. What do we understand by educational inclusion? Do we have any volunteer who wants to be the first one, please, my dearest students?
Can I?
Yes, of course, you can. Please, go ahead.
The question or about the video?
No, the equation. El video solo era para un soporte de ideas nada más. Okay, thank you, please.
I think that educational inclusion means about the education that the student receive in the classroom. A teacher should include values and belief because in our house we receive as we know our house is our first school. But I think that it depends the education that I received when I was a child, because we know that in different situation in each house, the parent teach different belief or values.
Yes.
In my case, I am a person who think that we all can achieve what we want. My
Totally.
mom always told me that I know that we all have different belief or value, but if someone need help, of course I am going to help that person, because everybody needs help, but sometimes it depends on the education that we receive. But nowadays in the classroom, we need to include the values and that in the different beliefs. I think that it depends, as I said before, it depends the kind of education that I receive in my house.
From your childhood, yes.
Yes. Then I, as a teacher, I will include different values. I would like to teach my to my future students that we all have the capacity to learn. I know that each student has different learning style, but he or she can do it. He can do it. It doesn't matter if in the classroom there are students that they have different ability, because we all have different ability, and that is the thing that many students they believe that they cannot do it something. For example, they cannot learn English because for example, if in the classroom there is some student that I am inventing, he's called Juanito, and Juanito has different ability. Juanito is intelligent, but it doesn't mean that Juanito is more intelligent.
Yes.
It means that Juanito has different ability, and all the rest of the children they have ability. They can do it what they want. So that is my opinion.
And that is a really good opinion. Wow, excellent. Thank you, Irene. Please, do we have another teacher that wants to give us the definition of educational inclusion? Y por eso es que yo en los parciales, yo no le voy a dar mi opinión o sea, mi término. Yo no le voy a mandar, ok, aprendámonos esto de memoria. Yo quiero que usted me dé en el parcial ¿Cuál es su idea de una educación inclusiva? Thank you. Thank you, Irene. Volunteer, please.
To the same question.
Yes, please. Okay.
Well,
Wait. Mauricio, number 1. Jackie, number 2. Okay, Jackie, thank you. Okay, Mauri, please, give us your definition.
but what I understand by educational inclusion is to know the difference of each student and give the necessary to supply it. For example, as you said before, a student can be special when she or he has a disability. For example, if they are blind or they can hear very well, if they use glasses, and those can be a disability. Also, it means that you need to pay attention to the students who has a way to think be more maybe faster than others that are very intelligent, because in fact the student can be intelligent, but they are still a child, they're still children. I mean, if you give the student exercises and exercises, but you don't care about him, you don't pay more attention, the student can be frustrated, can feel alone, and also that means that in the future he will have some troubles at communicating and expressing, or maybe he will be alone without no friends. And that means that you are letting aside the way the, the part of emotional, of attitude. And at the end, that can result even more problematic, troublesome for the student, because yeah, he will have skills, he will have the cognitive processes, but he will know how to use them in order to be a better person.
Yes, totally agree. Thank you. Really nice, Mauricio, as usual. So, let's continue, Jackie. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, please, go ahead.
Educational inclusion for me means that we all have the same rights. It doesn't matter if I have any disability or if I have abilities different to the rest of the people, because we know that we all are different and we all have different abilities to the rest. Probably I have some that others don't. So for me, educational inclusion is include everyone in the field of they can be educated. So it doesn't matter if I have a different nationality. It doesn't matter if I am Catholic or not. It doesn't matter if I am I am black or white. I have the right. I have the same rights, and every children have rights. So people have to respect that right, because we all have the same value.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jackie. Really nice as usual, too. Let's continue. Who's missing? Ellie, Anita, or Alessandra?
Me?
Okay, thank you, Ellie. Please, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to try to explain in my own words.
Excellent. I like it.
Inclusion for me means that you're going to include any person. It doesn't matter if have any different culture, different size, different color. You need to include or any disability. Uh, I think that you need to include all, all, all people because in some case they are so intelligent that it's going to help you like to grow up together. I think this is the most important thing that you can do for someone that has inclusion maybe.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Ellie. I really appreciate your opinion too. Let's continue. Ale or Anita? Ladies?
Me.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to conclude this topic with Alessandra. Okay, Anna, please go ahead. Your microphone, Anita, is on, but I cannot hear you.
Now you can. I'm sorry, I think it's
Yes.
the internet.
Okay, no, don't worry. Now it's much better. Please, go ahead.
I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Mike, okay. Yes, I think you got some problem with your connection. Okay, Ale, are you ready? Don't worry, Anita. Don't worry about it.
Yes,
Ale?
teacher.
Excellent,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, I'm gonna conclude with you, please, Alessandra. Go ahead.
Okay, I think that educational inclusion is the capacity to be educated without limits, but in what case? Um, inclusion is not in a part. Inclusion is also in the different kind of ideas, thoughts, and religions, nationalities, etc. Obviously, the capacity and discapacity, right? But I think that inclusion is not that or we are all the same people or we are equal. No, the inclusion is the capacity to learn to live in learning in the sky education, learning even when we are different, because that is the truth. We are all different, and that is something that I cannot change, but I can learn, obviously, to live with your difference in me, in my differences. But never we are going to be equals. Never we are going to be similar. So I think the inclusion is that in a resume, that is the inclusion. Sorry.
Okay, excellent. I really appreciate it too. Thank you so much. I got a question, but this is just for me. Okay, this is not for you. Don't worry about it. The question is why inclusion is important in education. So let's see. Jackie, could you please help me to read the information? Thank you.
Okay. Why inclusion is important in education? Inclusive systems provide a better quality education for all children and are instrumental in changing discriminatory attitudes. Schools provide the context for a child's first relationship with the world outside their family, enabling the development of social relationships and
Interactions. Thank you so much. Okay, look at this one. What are the 5 components of inclusive education? No se preocupen que yo les voy a subir las presentaciones ahora, ¿ok? No se preocupen. Solamente lo vamos a leer, no lo vamos a discutir porque ya es too much information. Ya de aquí para allá, ya la información de aquí para allá, ya no se le va a quedar a usted. Solamente vamos a hacer un pequeño brief nada más. What are the 5 components of inclusive education? I got 5. Bueno, no yo, ¿verdad? Según aquí las reglas, tenemos 5. Child find, assessment. Miren, seguimos en un constante, ¿verdad? Monitoreo. Assessment, program options, curriculum modifications and parental involvement. Volvemos a ver el triángulo del papá, el alumno y el maestro. Por ejemplo, en el caso, number 1, solo para leerlo, lo vamos a dejar para la siguiente clase. Child find. What does it mean, child find, in the inclusive education? The children with special needs who are not in the schools shall be listed using enclosure. These children should be visited by special education. Teachers and parents should be convinced to enroll their children in centers or schools nearest their home. No se preocupe que eso lo voy a explicar en la siguiente clase. Next, assessment. This is the continuous process of identifying the strengths and weakness of the child through the use of formal and informal tools. Más adelante vamos a ver lo que es la educación formal, la educación informal y la educación no formal, porque hay una diferencia entre informal y no formal. O sea, son 3 tipos de educaciones, pero son bien fáciles de identificar. Vamos con el siguiente. Program options. The third option is a resource room program, where the child with disability shall be pulled out from the general education or regular class and shall report to a SPD. This is a program. Teacher who provides a small group, one instructions and or appropriate interventions for these children. Teacher, ya me estoy perdiendo, ya le dije de aquí para allá el conocimiento de ustedes ahorita ya no me van a captar, por eso solo lo estoy leyendo. And curriculum modification. These shall be implemented in the forms of adaptation and accommodation to foster optimum learning based on individuals' needs. Seguimos viendo las necesidades de los alumnos. And potentials. Modification in classrooms, instructions, and activities is a process that involves new ways of thinking and developing teaching learning practice. It is also involves change in any of the steps in the teaching learning process. Curriculum modification shall include, okay, service delivery options like a cooperative or team teaching, consulting, teacher program, and others. Yo sé que es mucha la información, pero no se preocupe que vamos a ir bien detallado. And the last one, parental involvement. This plays a vital role in preparing the children in academy. Remember, our first school is our house. Moral and spiritual development. Parents shall involve themselves in observing children's performance, volunteering to work in the classroom as teachers, and providing support to other parents. So we got five. Child find, assessment, programs option, curriculum modification, and parental involvement. Okay, my dearest students, to conclude, to finish the class, we are going to do the pod quiz. Don't worry about it because the pod quiz is just about Montessori terminology. So, what time is it? It's 10:26. So, tenemos en este caso, señores, hasta las 10:50 para poder ustedes realizar su pod quiz. Remember, it's not a competition, so the link is available. If you see my screen, if you see my personal portal, you're going to see the link. So you are going to have at least 20 minutes to do it. So any question, my dearest students? Or everything is clear, please? 5, 4, 3.
It's necessary to be there in the class.
Lo que pasa es que si tienen alguna duda, ok, voy a dejar esa parte. Opción de ustedes. Nos salimos de Zoom y cualquier duda me preguntan en WhatsApp, or if you want, we can continue in Zoom.
We can continue here, but
We
I
can
don't know.
continue.
Ok, excellent, nice. Ok, so, señores, cualquier duda o consulta, estoy aquí. Ojo, las dudas y consultas, háganmelas en privado, ya sea en el Zoom, en el chat de Zoom o en mi privado de WhatsApp, ok? So, señores, ya está ahí habilitado su link. So, any question, I'm available. Good luck. Yes, Jackie, any question? Okay. Thank you, Alessandra. Thanks for letting me know, okay? I got your results. Okay, I got Mauricio Amaya and Ana del Carmen. I got your results, students. Thank you. Thank you, Jacqueline. I got your results too. Thank you, Irene. I got your results. I'm so sorry, Ellie. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, my dearest students. So see you tomorrow and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.